And good afternoon. This is Woody Collins with Congo Helping Hands, and we are here to talk about the Congo. And we thank you for stopping by. And our subject today is the disadvantages of a solar pump water system. So yesterday we talked about the advantages, and so today we're going to cover the disadvantages of it, and then we will end up with my conclusion. So I hope it be a surprise to you that what the conclusion is all about, but let's try it anyway. Okay, so the first thing, we're talking about a pumping system that uses solar panels to generate electricity to run them. So you have to have solar panels, and you have a a DC pump, and then you hook those solar panels up to a DC pump, and it will pump water during the daylight hours. So, as you can see, probably one of the first disadvantages is it's a daylight system only. So, if it's really cloudy overhead, you're going to get less water, potentially no water, but most times you size it enough that you're going to get some water even on a cloudy day. And if you put in enough panels, you can have enough. You can have enough water even on a cloudy day. That's what you want to do. So that's one of the disadvantages of it. It won't run at night. It won't do anything like that. Second um disadvantage is the cost. The solar panels probably is an additive feature, meaning to say that when you look at it, the cost of a pump, you it's a little bit more expensive, but not that much more expensive. That's a manual pump or even a AC pump. But if you get the AC DC pump, it's probably going to be a little bit more expensive. And also, that DC AC pump is going to be more expensive than a manual pump. So that's a second disadvantage is that it costs more, and so a lot of people don't like to put in extra money to for a water system. When they say, "Oh, a hand pump would do," that would give them some skin in the game. They're going to be pumping and blah blah blah, and so therefore and then lastly, and I would say this is the last thing, is it is not repairable. Where if you got a manual pump, but any type of electrical pump, those things are very uh, intricate, and they are also uh, hard to tear apart and do any type of maintenance on them. You basically, if you damage one of them or get it too much sand in it, you almost have to throw up your hands and kind of go, well, no, it's gone, and so you out of a pump. Where with a manual pump, you can take it apart, uh, replace some of whatever's wrong with it. If it's got mud or sand in it, you can wash the mud and sand out of it, and it will operate again. So that's that's an advantage. That's an advantage that you have over the solar pump. I've I've taken one of them apart and I got it back together, and I asked the people to try to see if it would work, and they never responded back that it worked or didn't work. So I don't know whether I did a good job or not, but it was a long afternoon of taking each one of the little pumps. It's made up of maybe a minimum of 6 and maybe 8 to 13 pumps, depends on how big it is. And these are little propellers that go up, and that's how the water is pushed up up to 200 feet. They push the water up. and it's pushed up by these propellers. So that makes it very, our one of the internal circuits goes out. Do you know how to replace those? And that's kind of the problem you have, where at least with a manual pump, you have the possibility, you may not be able to fix it in the field, but you can at least take it back to the workshop and work on it and possibly get it back together. So those are the three disadvantages that you have. Number one is that it is more expensive. Number two, that it requires uh, uh, more more precision panels and stuff like that. And then third is the that you won't be able to do any type of maintenance. You're going to have to send it back to the company. So all in all, which one do I think that I would go with? And my answers still today is I will still go with the the solar pump. Number one, overall, even though it may cost more money up front, properly sized, and if you have enough, you're selling enough water, you are going to get your money back. And that's where part of the hangup is. A lot of people don't want to go through the trouble of setting up a scheme where you buy, you're selling water, and therefore you're recouping your money and you're collecting money for operation. They would rather just not do that, and then all of a sudden they're still in the same situation, even though that pump may be repairable, that manual pump. But if you don't have any money to do it, and you don't have money to have people to come out to fix it, you're still in the same shape. They've come up with something what they call uh, a village level maintenance uh, pump, where it should be able to be repaired by people in the village. However, you don't have the part and you don't have the tools, and you may not have anybody who knows how to pull it back up and not lose it. Because if you're pulling it up from 100 feet and something happens, you drop the pump in the ground, that's you just done lost the pump. And that's even a manual pump or a uh, or electrical pump. So I still would say that you can do that. Not only to, if you got solar power, not only can you generate money, you can generate money. You can also generate money from the sale of water, and also you can charge phones, charge computers, and everything, because that is a way that you can. You got the power during the day, and if it's a sunny day, your panels will be producing way more electricity than it needs to run the pump at full capacity. So therefore, you could easily run solar. Put and it's 12 volt. So just like any type of thing that you have in your car, you can run the same thing, uh, charge up your telephone, computers, just with a 12 volt system. So with that added feature of generating additional money, I think it's worthwhile. And I think that those pumps are much, much more reliability, and there's a longer time between failure of a electric pump and a solar pump. I mean, electric pump and a manual pump. Meaning to say, you can put a manual pump in the ground, and uh, it will start causing you problems maybe in 3 to 4 months. But at least with the solar, if it starts working, you can probably be assured that it's going to work for, you know, 3 to 4 years without any problem. Also, the solar panels, those solar panels are going to last for 25 years. So once you make the investment into solar panels, you are in good shape, and you're recouping the money, and you're not spending money on electricity, either through a generator or through a grid. So Therefore, I still think that the solar pump is the way to go, even though it may cost you a little bit more at the first beginning. So thank you all for stopping by, and we will talk to you tomorrow at the same time at 3 o'clock. And take care, and we will be here. So, and let's get this pandemic under control. Don't forget that we're still in the midst of it. And thank you so much.